My name is Danielle Glito. I am the founder and executive director of Trenton Animal Shelter. I'm standing here with Councilwoman Joe Harrison, who's been a supporter of our work since we began, as well as our team, Celeste Perez, Erica Melton, Asia Carey. Asia and Celeste are our shelter managers. Asia is a resident of the city of Trenton, a mom, 3 kids who just found out literally as somebody pulled up to change the locks that we're out, effective immediately.
This is embarrassing to believe that my colleagues want to kill shelter. I mean, they're making allegations up. They have no plan. Every meeting, it seems to be the same stuff over and over again. They have never come here. They've never come here. They don't see all these wonderful volunteers right here that come here that are advocating. That's what everybody's doing right now here. Advocating for the cats and dogs. Where are the council members who are spewing so much hatred about a kill shelter?
Where's the mayor?
I just don't. I think it's horrible that my colleagues do not support this. Trenton Animal Rocks does a lot of great for this city. They have a lot of volunteers that come out here all the time and do so much good. But my colleagues, they seem to make up stuff and they have no plan, but they're okay with just throwing all the dogs, animals, volunteers out. And what are we going to do in the city now?
We're going to vote their asses out.
And that's why it's been so hard being on this city council. We're supposed to be doing what the people want. The people don't want this. The people don't want the people that send emails, that called in supporting Trenton Animal Rocks are embarrassed. And they should be embarrassed because my colleagues, at time and time again, it's the same thing. One of my colleagues made a comment last night, something about dogs going over the bridge. I don't even know what that means. I have no clue.
For the garbage.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, where are they? Why aren't you advocating? We don't advocate for our seniors. We're not advocating for our kids. We're not advocating for the kids. Now we're not advocating for the dogs and cats of the city. So please, you're right. At the end of the day, this is another sad day. The last 4 years been a lot of sad days. It's another sad day. And it should break everybody's heart, because it breaks my heart. I know everybody here, they give their heart and soul every day. They're coming here volunteering out of the goodness of their heart. So I'm heartbroken, I'll be honest with you. It's a sad, sad day for the city.
I'm usually not somebody who struggles to speak in public because I do it a lot, but this is tough. I know that 4 years ago when I came through these doors, this was a horrid place for animals to come to. It was dirty, it was infested with bugs, there was sticky pads all over the floor for rodent catching, there was poison all over the floor for to kill bugs and things. There was all of these small dogs were kept in a closet with no ventilation, stacked on top of each other with just a piece of paper. So if over the weekend when they were closed from 11 a.m. until 9 a.m. the next day, if those animals were defecating or urinating, it would just be dripping down to the animal beneath them. There was an animal in here. I came to be at this place. I live over the right across in Ewing. I could literally walk a few steps to Glen Afton, so that's how close I am to this city. I came here because there was a Facebook post where a volunteer at the time was sharing how terrible the conditions were for the dogs. The response at that time was to make volunteers sign a confidentiality agreement so they weren't allowed to share how bad it was. They weren't allowed to share that temperament testing was done by simply bringing just 2 random dogs together face to face and seeing if they barked or growled. And if they did, there was something called the EB list, and they just got put on for euthanasia. No further training, no behavioral assessments, no true figuring if these dogs could be rehabilitated, just kill them. At that time, they euthanized 47% of the dogs that came into this facility. The time they spent here was also hell. As I mentioned, they closed at 11 on Saturdays, didn't reopen again until Sunday at 9, so they were living in these small little kennels for, close to 24 hours, covered in poop and pee and vomit. There were times where animals had died during a raid where they brought in a bunch of animals from a hoarding case. They were jam-packing them into so many different places, and there was, in fact, one that died overnight. The euthanasia policy was literally just kill, kill, kill when you can. I heard somebody say last night on City Council, in addition to a ton of other inaccuracies, that there's a law that at 7 days, after 7 days, that the dogs be killed. That's not a law. You can euthanize after 7 days. However, you should make every effort to find these animals homes if they can be rehomed. That wasn't happening. There was a handful of volunteers here who were given a set amount of dogs that were allowed to be adopted out, so about 50% of them. The rest of them were euthanized. I'm not trying to discredit the work of the volunteers that were here before, but it wasn't the heavy lift that it became when this became no kill. When it became no kill, we said every animal who walks through these doors is going to get a chance to walk out of here, healthy and alive. And in addition to that, let's open a pet pantry. Let's open up a phone line so that if people have trouble keeping their pets in their homes because of behavioral issues, or they have trouble feeding them or getting them medication, we can help. And we've done that. Just recently, there was a husky named Denver who got hit by a car when he got out of his house. His surgery cost over $7,000. The owners called us a wreck and said, we'll do anything we can, we'll sign him over to you if you can just save his life. We went ahead and raised the money, saved his life, and reunited him with his family. That is one of many stories like that for the residents of this city. So it isn't just about the suburbs and what the people in the suburbs want. Everybody should want decency. Everybody should want a quality of life. This place wasn't sanitary when we came in here. The vet that was here did not have a current contract, and anybody is willing to go and pull those records and see that there was no current vet of record. There was actually no vet bills being paid. So Nassau Animal Hospital, Blue Pearl Langhorne, Blue Pearl Levittown, now known as that, used to be known as VSEC and CARES, had outstanding bills in the tens of thousands of dollars with the city. When we stepped in is the only reason they continue to provide care for city animals. Because we stepped in and said, we will take over paying bills, which we have done, to the tune of $500,000 probably over the last 2 years. So to think that we have come in and, as some gentleman put it last night, tried to make this some kind of cash cow. Who's getting rich off of saving animals' lives? It's a disgraceful comment. I don't know where we go from here, I'm going to be honest. We have a lot of things inside that belong to our organization, but those are things. We can buy new things. There are lives inside that building. There are dogs inside that building that may not make it out of there. And we got a team of people here, board members, volunteers, staff, TCR, Trenton Cats Rescue, who is our partner, despite what you might want to hear on some stupid commentary or social media. We came in to emulate what they did and to take over this facility to give them a better facility. We gave the cats a better facility here. All we want right now is the chance to get all of the dogs out of here safely and alive. We will not abandon the residents of the city of Trenton. We will still be there for them. I don't know in what capacity we're going to be allowed to do things like operate the food pantry or vaccines. We've bought most of the vaccines and medicines that are currently inside the building. I don't understand what council's plan was here. Lock us out, and who's coming in? I encourage you all who are here to talk to some of the people that are around you, because many of them are in fact residents, many of them have worked here, many of them, I don't know where she is, have been here for long before we were here and can tell you and attest to this, what it was like before TAR came in. They can tell you what it was like to walk through and see on the cages how many animals were going to be euthanized. They can tell you about the condition of the building. They can tell you about the apathy around some of the people who work here who are still employed. I won't do that, but I'm sure others would be happy to. And we have plenty of photos and pictures and videos and all that other crap everybody else is mentioning. These false allegations about law breaking and not having we have a VPH inside, we have a disease prevention and control plan. We work collectively with all of the area shelters, we always have. We've never ever come out and said we know everything. We came out and said we want to do better, do more, and bring the community together. We came out and said we shouldn't needlessly kill animals. We came out and said that if you are struggling to pay a vet bill, you shouldn't have to watch your animal suffer and die in your house. We should be able to help you. We came in as a resource. We're not going away. but we are not going to be allowed to operate the building. And so the most emergent thing is that the animals at risk of being euthanized get out of here. So if you are with a rescue group, if you are a current foster or adopter, and you can pull an animal, we will be here through the remainder of the day. Email us, go to info@tarnj.org to send an email, or tarnj.org to apply to foster to adopt. Come to the shelter. We can do an on-site, screening, vet reference check, landlord check, all of that. We'll stay here till we hopefully can get every single one of them out of here. There is one dog here who's a court case. We can't touch him. His name is Jersey. He's not going to be able to leave. Under our direction, we have always given every animal the benefit of the doubt and training, and we have given them safe handling. We have given them peace as best we could. They're fed better food. They were always just fed whatever was donated. So for those of you who have pets, if you switch their food, it's disgusting and horrible for them to deal with. And if they have a food allergy or something. We came in and we started to make sure that the dogs were getting fed consistently, more than once a day, and getting fed the same food. We were also making sure that they were getting medicated, because there weren't people here to actually stick to medication regimens. So they would take dogs to a vet, and the vet would say, this dog needs to get this every 8 hours. And they were like, yeah, well, we're not here every 8 hours, so we'll give it to them when we can. So things weren't being cured. If an animal had any sort of severe injury, they were likely just euthanized, because the city didn't pay more than $300 per animal. I could go on and on about everything that we've done, everything that we had planned to continue to do. But I really will just say that the biggest plea right now is get these dogs out before they are euthanized. A lot of these dogs in here are in danger of being euthanized, and they are not animals that should be euthanized. What I heard last night was city council saying they don't believe that the residents of their city deserve the same depth and breadth of services that their suburban counterparts enjoy. And I am here to tell you that that is not true. The city residents deserve just as much service as Easel gives to Ewing and Princeton gets from Save and all of those surrounding areas. Trenton doesn't deserve less, they deserve more. And we showed up and we gave them more. Of those council members, aside from Councilman Harrison here and Marge Caldwell Wilson, none of them have even been here. So all of the claims that are being made are through third party, some of them fictitious names coming through in emails, and a fake nonprofit group that is spearheaded by a woman who lives in Ocean County. How in any way any of this became relevant is beyond me and disgusts me. And I just want to also say, and I promise, and I want this on camera, I promise my team, no matter what I have to do, we will fundraise and you will not lose your jobs. This isn't just about animals, this is about people. And I'm telling you, I will continue to work as hard as I can for the residents of the city, because whether this council wants to believe it or not, I am a decent human being who cares, and that's why I did this, and there's no other reason.
We love you, Tar. Thank you. We need you.
You want to say something, Joe?